Chicago, Illinois, October 15th, 2023. The rain pattered against my apartment window like impatient fingers, the kind of steady drizzle that turns the city into a blurry watercolor of neon and shadows. It was around 11 p.m., and I'd just finished a grueling shift at the coffee shop downtown, pouring lattes for insomniacs and hipsters until my feet screamed. My one bedroom in Wicker Park wasn't much, but it was mine. Peeling wallpaper, a sagging couch, and a laptop that doubled as my escape hatch from the monotony. I kicked off my soaked sneakers, grabbed a lukewarm beer from the fridge, and flopped onto the bed. The screen glowed invitingly in the dim room, the only light besides the faint hum of street lamps filtering through the blinds. Boredom gnawed at me, the kind that hits after a long day when you're too wired to sleep, but too drained for anything productive. That's when I remembered Omegle. I hadn't logged on in months, but tonight? Why not? Just a quick chat or two, something to unwind before crashing. I pulled up the site, the familiar black interface popping up with its Start Chatting button. No video, I decided. Text only. Safer that way. I typed in some interests. Horror movies, urban legends, late-night vibes. The first match connected almost instantly. "Hey," the stranger typed. "What's your poison? Freddy or Jason?" I smirked, firing back about my love for slashers. It was light, fun, nothing deep. We bantered for 10 minutes before they disconnected. Harmless. The next one was a girl from somewhere in Europe, rambling about her day. I shared a bit about Chicago's endless rain, how it made the streets feel like a noir film. She laughed via emojis and we parted ways. By midnight, I'd cycled through 5 chats. Feeling bold, I switched to video. What the hell, I thought. My webcam was grainy, but it captured my messy hair in the cluttered background. Bookshelves crammed with paperbacks, a half-eaten pizza box on the nightstand. The stranger's feed showed a dark room, just a silhouette. "Sup?" they said, voice distorted by the lag. We talked weather, memes, boring stuff, but something about their questions felt probing. "You live alone? Nice place." I shrugged it off, ended the call. The rain picked up, drumming harder now, thunder rumbling in the distance like a warning I ignored. 12:30 a.m., another match. This one was intense from the jump. Video on, a guy in his 20s maybe with a hoodie pulled low. "Chicago, huh?" From your accent. I hadn't mentioned the city, but my voice probably gave it away. We dove into conspiracy theories, government surveillance, shadow people in alleyways. He leaned in close to the camera, eyes gleaming. "You ever feel like you're being watched? Like right now?" A chill skittered down my spine, but I played it cool. All the time in this city, eyes everywhere. He grinned, teeth flashing. "Bet I could find you if I tried." I laughed nervously. "Creep," but he kept pushing. "What's behind you? That poster. Windy City, something?" My heart stuttered. The poster was on the wall, partially visible in the frame. How had he spotted it? "Just decor," I muttered, angling the laptop away. The chat ended abruptly, their screen going black. I exhaled, rubbing my temples. Paranoia, that's all. People say weird shit online. By 1 a.m., the apartment felt stuffier, the air thick with the scent of damp concrete seeping through the walls. I'd had 3 beers, and the buzz made everything sharper, edges glinting. One more chat, I promised myself. The match loaded. No video from them, just text. "Tell me about your day." Innocent enough. I typed about the coffee shop, the rude customer who stiffed me on a tip. They responded quickly. "Sounds rough. Where do you work? Maybe I know it." I hesitated, then named the spot, Bean there on Milwaukee Avenue. Stupid, but what were the odds? The conversation flowed, turning personal. Single? No cat pics or anything. I joked about my empty life, no pets, just plants dying on the windowsill. They asked for a picture of my setup. I snapped a quick selfie with the laptop, sent it. "Cute," they replied. "Love the view out your window. Those fire escapes." Wait, how did they know about the fire escapes? My window was behind me, but the blinds were half open, the alley visible in the gloom. I glanced over my shoulder. Nothing but rain-slicked metal and shadows. "Lucky guess," I typed, fingers trembling slightly. The chat disconnected. Okay, enough. I closed the tab, but the unease lingered. A knot in my stomach. I paced the room, the floorboards creaking underfoot. The clock ticked louder now, each second amplifying the silence outside. No cars splashing through puddles, no distant sirens, just the rain. I double-checked the locks, drew the blinds tight. Back on the couch, I scrolled Netflix, but my mind raced. That last one, too specific. I reopened Omegle, curiosity overriding sense. Text only, this time. Matched with someone quiet. "What's your city like at night?" they asked. I kept it vague. Big, noisy, but they pressed. "Rainy? Bet it's pouring where you are." Chicago weather was common knowledge, but it felt invasive. We chatted longer than I meant to, about fears, phobias. I admitted mine, being followed home, that prickling neck sensation. "Happens to me too," they typed, especially after late-night talks. The words hung there. I asked who they were, no response. Then, "Check your door." My blood froze. I stared at the screen, breath shallow. A joke, right? But the apartment was too quiet. I crept to the door, peering through the peephole. Empty hallway, flickering fluorescent light. Nothing. Back to the laptop. The chat was gone. Heart pounding, I shut it down, unplugged the router. Sleep. Just get some sleep. 2:15 a.m. A noise jolted me awake. Thump, like something heavy dropping in the alley. I sat up, sheets tangled around me. The rain had eased to a drizzle, moonlight slicing through a gap in the blinds. Another thump, closer. Footsteps? On the fire escape. I froze, ears straining. Metal groaned, then silence. Imagination, I told myself, but I grabbed my phone, flashlight app on, and edged to the window. Peering out, I saw it, a shadow, moving on the ladder below, climbing slowly, toward my floor. "Shit," I whispered, backing away. "Who? How?" The Omegle chats replayed in my mind. The questions, the photo, the fire escapes. They knew. Somehow, they knew where I was. I dialed 911, but my voice cracked. Someone's outside my window. The operator asked for details, but before I could explain, a face appeared at the glass. Pale, hooded, eyes locked on mine through the blinds. Not a stranger's gaze, but familiar. The guy from earlier, or the texter? They pressed against the pane, breath fogging it, mouthing words I couldn't hear. "Found you." Panic exploded. I dropped the phone, scrambling for the door. The operator's voice tinny in the background. "Sir?" "Stay on the line." But the shadow shifted, a hand scraping the window frame. Locked, thank God. I bolted into the kitchen, grabbing a knife from the block, dull but better than nothing. Footsteps now, on the metal outside, heading for the bedroom window. How had they climbed so fast? I barricaded the door with the couch, shoving it with all my strength. Sweat poured down my back, the room spinning. A crash, glass shattering in the bedroom. They were in. "Stay away," I yelled, voice hoarse. A silence, then a low chuckle echoing through the walls. "You talked too long," a voice said, muffled but clear. Male, young. "Shared too much." I gripped the knife, backing into the corner. The bedroom door rattled, locked, but the frame splintered under pressure. "Police are coming," I lied, praying it was true. The door burst open, couch toppling. He stepped through. Hoodie, jeans, face obscured by shadow, but those eyes gleaming with that same intensity from the video. "Omegle?" I stammered, knife raised. He tilted his head, smiling. "You made it easy. City, coffee shop, selfie with the alley view. GPS on your photo, dumbass." "My photo?" I'd sent it in chat. Metadata, location tags. Stupid, so stupid. He advanced, slow, deliberate. Just wanted to chat more. In person. The knife shook in my hand. Outside, sirens wailed, distant but closing. His smile faltered. "Time's up." He lunged, but I swung wildly, catching his arm. He yelped, staggering back. I charged past into the hall, pounding on neighbors' doors. "Help! Intruder!" Lights flicked on, voices murmuring. The police arrived in a blur of blue lights and questions. He was gone. Slipped down the fire escape, vanished into the night, but they found traces. Wet footprints, shattered glass, a scrap of hoodie fabric snagged on the window. I showed them the laptop, but Omegle logs, gone, anonymous. "You need to be careful online," the officer said, sympathetic but tired. "Strangers aren't always strangers." They took my statement, dusted for prints, nothing useful. By dawn, the rain had stopped, the city awakening to another gray day. I boarded up the window, crashed on a friend's couch across town, but sleep? It didn't come easy. In the weeks that followed, the nightmare seeped into everything. I quit Omegle, deleted socials, got a new phone number. But the fear stuck, a constant itch. Every shadow in the alley, every late-night knock, him? They never caught the guy. No matches to prints, no leads from the shop's CCTV. I started noticing things. A car idling too long outside my new place. A missed call from an unknown number. Paranoia or real? One night, scrolling news, I saw it. A forum post about Omegle stalkers. People doxxed from casual chats. "They triangulate," one user wrote. "Interests, accents, backgrounds, then boom, your door." My story could have been theirs. I moved again, further out to the suburbs, but the city's pulse still echoed in my veins. It's been almost 2 years now, and I've rebuilt. New job, therapy, locks on every window. But I don't chat with strangers anymore. The internet's a web, and once you're caught, they know where you live. Forever. If you're listening, log off before it's too late. Because out there, in the dark, someone's always watching. Waiting for you to say just enough